Okay, we're ready for part two. We're going to take our armature and we're going to try two kinds of air dry clay, and then I'm going to show you how to use ultra mache. Okay. So Jack tried Sculpey air dry clay, and he went directly onto the tin foil without any masking tape, and it stuck just fine. Um, Sometimes it will poke a hole through because the edge is kind of sharp, but it holds well. And this is his sculpture so far. And then he tried a brand called Jovi Air Dry Clay. And it came in 3 different colors. So this is a terracotta color. It's kind of brown. And again, he put the clay on a tin foil armature without masking tape. So this was sort of layer number 1. I tried Jovi Air Dry Clay as well, but I switched and tried a different color. I don't know if it feels any different. I think it may just be the color only. I think this one I went directly onto the tin foil as well. It looks like nothing yet. It will, I promise. So I think we had 3 or 4 in total. So I need to cover my original one. So I went back to Sculpey Air Dry Clay because I still have a little bit left in the bag. This one is going on top of a masking tape surface. I made my clay as thin as possible. I pinched it like wafer thin and slowly wrapped it around, smoothing it down with my finger. No water. I did notice that the tin foil doesn't poke holes in the clay with this layer of masking tape, so that's good. It helps if you overlap the sections of clay and then blend them together with your finger. It gives it something to stick to hold together. Okay, and that's it for day 1. Now, we're going to return to another one with a base, and I'm going to switch out the base. I found something that's a little heavier, and so I removed it from the box and retaped the entire 2 feet all the way around, front and back, to a little plastic container. Now, ultra mache is not clay. This is a paper fibrous material. It's dusty, and it must stay dry unless you're prepared to use it in this moment. So keep what you're not going to use in a Ziploc bag that Mr. Schultz gave you. I would use a handful at a time. You can always add more as you need it. So in any kind of dish, it's non-toxic, put a little tiny bit of water on the side and then slowly with your hands drag some of the ultra mache into the water until all of it feels like it's damp. Take it in your hand, squeeze it until you get a consistency that actually feels a little bit like clay. Not too wet. Feels nice actually. And we're going to start with the feet. We're going to talk about why next day. What I do notice about ultra mache, and I've used this many times in other projects, it does tend to get really thick quickly. Like if you're putting it on, you kind of like start putting on tons and it becomes this big chunky thing. So be careful to go a little bit at a time and smooth it out, or you might end up making your figure much bulkier than you intended it to. Okay. Now I went as far as the waist today and then I stopped, and I'm going to let this dry completely. This is different than clay. I want it to get hard, and we'll talk about that why next class.